Hello everyone, welcome to episode 12, week 13 of Whitby Guernsey Knits. Anyone who's new to the channel, my name's Alana and I'm knitting a Guernsey in the traditional way that knitters used to knit them in the past using 5 needles. This all came about from an article my brother sent me that said Guernsey knitters were in danger of dying out because due to the lack of people who could knit them. So as my brother-in-law is going to be 65 and I thought he would like to have one, so I'm going to knit, I am knitting him a traditional Guernsey using the 5 needles. It has been a trial, to say the least, as it is now week 13 and I'm still on it. I do take about 2 hours a day roughly to knit. That's all I can give to it, so hence the 13 weeks, and Guernsey knitters used to knit them in 6 weeks. So I haven't succeeded in the 6-week challenge, but anyway, let's see if I can get it finished for his 65th birthday. I am on the final sleeve, and I've got this much done now on the final sleeve, but I just wanted to show you because when I knitted the first sleeve I didn't mention this, but as I'm going around on my rounds and decreasing every 4th row because you decrease next to the false seam, which is, where is it? It's round here. Don't want to twist it round because I won't be able to show you what I'm trying to do, but it's round there. So on the first needle and the 4th needle, that's where you're decreasing, so you're getting less stitches on. So every so many rounds, you can see it there, there's a lot more stitches on that needle than there is on that one. So every so many rounds I just slip a few off the 3rd, the 2nd and the 4th needle and put them on the 1st and the 4th, just to make it a little bit more even. You don't have to do that, but I can sort of see a seam where I kind of go from one needle to the other needle on all of the jersey, actually, on all of this Guernsey. So down the middle of the front, I can see where I've moved from one needle to another, and down the back it's not so obvious on the sides because you're creating a false seam. So I hope whether I give it a wash or whether I steam press it or whatever, I'll have to look that up, it will disappear, I don't know. So I've been moving these stitches around just so that it doesn't kind of look like there's a seam. Anyway, I'm going to get back on now and I shall get back to you later. Okay, so we're reaching the end of another week and I literally only have a few days left. So I have got to the last 2.5 inches before I start my cuff. So I am hopeful now that I am going to get this finished just in time for my brother-in-law's birthday, and by I mean just in time, it will be literally, I think, probably the day or the day before. So that's the stage I'm up to now. So I've got to do a few more rounds in stocking stitch, and then I've got to do my rib for the 2nd sleeve, and then just run the stitches in from the last bit of the wool and either wash the garment, which I don't think I'll have time to do before his birthday. I'll have to take it back and do that, or steam press it. I'll have a look to see what I have to do. So that's it really this week. I have got on quite well, but I've got to really motor on now. So I'm going to leave you with a little video that I took from Whitby Museum of a Guernsey in there. The museum has just opened after its winter break, and they are doing they're running an exhibition on Whitby women. And in a little display cabinet, there's a Guernsey. Unfortunately, there's no description of anything. But it was interesting to see that the pattern, two of the patterns, are the same two patterns that I've got in. I think it's slightly smaller diamond, but it's those patterns. It's more elaborate than the one I've done, because it's got the pattern all the way down the back as well, and it's got anyway a shoulder with buttons. Anyway, you'll see it. So if you want to view that, there's that coming up now. And thank you for your comments, everyone, and thank you for watching, and I will see you for the final week. Okay, so we're at Pannet Park, and I'm going to go in to the museum to see if I can find any evidence of Whitby Guernseys. Let's go. So Whitby Museum is in the middle of Pannet Park really, and Pannet Park is in the Whitby town centre. So I'll just pan around slowly to show you. Not really much to see, but it gives you a glimpse of the park. It is a lovely park actually. I'm just going to move further along here, and then I'll turn and you might be able to see Whitby Abbey. So I'll just turn around. I don't know if you can see it through the trees. Right, let's go in then and see what we can see. We're in luck because Whitby is running an exhibition on inspirational women of Whitby, and there is one display cabinet with a Guernsey in. Okay, so here's the one Guernsey on display. It's beautiful, and it does use the same patterns that I have done, the rope and the diamond. It's knit in a grey, beautifully knitted, beautiful. I'm going to try and go around the side to see the back and the shoulder. Just look at the back. Can see my reflection, unfortunately. Let's see if I can get it.
1970s and 1980s,
just look how beautiful it is.
In 1980, we went to see Sarah Solly, who was born.
And can you see the neckline? So it's buttons. And then the pattern starts along the shoulder and goes and stops actually when the sleeves have been knitted in. Right, so we'll go around the front. And there's a picture of a fisherman. And can you see those small pins there? And then there's some rather large needles. They won't have been used for Guernseys. I wonder what they've been used for. But I think there's a sheath there. I don't know what. I think they used to use those for the pins. I'm not sure, but I'll have a look at that in the book that I've got about the history of the Guernsey knitting. And then there's a lovely little booklet down here. Hopefully the pattern is showing.
And I went to school to Mr. Todd. It's at the Stafford Jones.
Isn't that wonderful?
chair wood shop. All I remember, Joey the